So look, in today's video, I am going to share with you how you can actually make $10,000 per month in your 20s and even more. Now, since it's probably the first time you and I meet, why should you listen to me? My name is Fred, and 5 years ago, I only had $400 to my name, and I desperately wanted to build a profitable business. At first, I started a profitable done-for-you lead generation service for entrepreneurs, and then I transitioned into consulting, and nowadays, I make upwards of $1,000 per day. So on this channel, I am not only sharing with you my journey as an entrepreneur, originally from a lower middle class background, but also step-by-step strategies so you can literally just copy me. The most important thing you need to focus on if you want to get to $10,000 per month and even more in your 20s is working on the right opportunity. Honestly, for now, just forget about investing in the stock market or crypto or any kind of similar things, because the truth is, even though things like the stock market are great if you want to make passive income, the thing is, if you don't have a lot of money to invest, and by a lot, I mean $100,000, $200,000, even a few $1,000,000, you will only really see a return from your investment in 10, 20, 30 years down the line. But if you're like me, your goal is to enjoy your life while you're young enough to do so. The goal is to be able to have all the experiences that you want in your youth, in your 20s, your 30s, because these are the best years of your life. And personally, growing up in the lower middle class, I would see most working adults just working their job that they hated just because, they have to. They need to pay the bills. But their dream was basically to just work all of their life, stick through it even though they hated their jobs, so that one day, hopefully, they'd be able to retire at 65 or even older than that, collect social security, and finally be able to enjoy life and do all the things that they wanted. And so as a kid, as a teen, I figured that was no way to live. I wanted to live while I was young, because in life, you never have a guarantee that you'll be able to reach like 65 years old, be able to retire, collect your social security, and finally do the things that you want. So you need to take control over your financial future. So before you worry about investing your money, you need to find a way to make more money. Now, most people will try to do that through a regular 9-to-5 job, and while you can make more money if you work longer hours, or you get promoted, or you end up getting better qualifications, and you get maybe a different type of job, a job that can pay you more money, the problem is you will always very quickly hit a ceiling. And the reason for that is you are typically paid per hour of your time. And let's be honest, there's only so many hours in a week or in a day that you can spend working. And even if you could spend 24 hours a day, 7 days a week working, what would be the point? The point isn't to die the richest man or woman of the graveyard. The goal is to be able to enjoy your life as young as possible. The only time saving money actually works, and the only time I recommend you do it, is so that you can invest in your education, in getting the guidance that you need to start your business and get to 5K, 10K, 20K per month, and even beyond. Because long term, you have to realize saving money just doesn't work. The money that you save up in your bank account year after year, it's only losing value because of inflation. Meaning every year, you might have the same amount of money in your bank account, but the thing is, your buying power is decreasing, because what you can buy nowadays with $100, it's way less than what you could buy 10 years ago with $100, and it's still way more than what you'll be able to buy with $100 in 5 years from now. So that's why the fastest and most efficient path, if you want to make 5K, 10K per month or even more, is to start a business. However, you need to be extremely careful, because the sad truth is not every business model is equal. The best advice I can give you is this: focus on selling services or coaching, not physical products. I speak to dozens of people on a weekly basis, and a lot of people, they come to me and they've tried dropshipping, they've tried Amazon FBA, but they only wasted thousands of dollars because they invested their hard-earned money into the wrong opportunities. Sure, there are people making millions with dropshipping or Amazon FBA, but to be completely honest with you, these opportunities have a high cost, because to even be able to start a dropshipping business and hope to be profitable, you would need to at least spend $10,000, because you would need to test different ads in order to find a winning ad and finally be able to sell your products. Not to mention that when you choose to sell physical products as opposed to services or coaching, typically when you sell physical products, you're not going to sell a product for $500, especially if you're doing dropshipping or Amazon FBA. And even if you did, profit margins would be extremely small. So let's say on average you sell a $50 product. Well, if you were to do the math, you would need hundreds of sales every month to be able to make $10,000 per month. And on top of that, because profit margins are so small, between 5 to 20% at most, even if you made $10,000, which would be a lot of money for a lot of people, you would only really keep between $500 up to $2,000. But when you sell services or coaching, you can charge high ticket prices, typically anywhere from $500 up to $5,000 and more. Some coaching offers, they sell for $10,000, $30,000. But let's say you were to sell a service or a coaching offer for $2,000. If it's a coaching offer, it's typically going to be a one-time payment. If it's a service, on the other hand, it's typically going to be a monthly recurring fee. So in order to make 10K per month and you were selling an offer for $2,000, you would only need 5 customers. Whereas remember, if you were to sell a $50 product, you would need hundreds of sales, meaning you would need to convince hundreds of people to pay you. So it's much easier to convince a few people to pay a high ticket price, and then you deliver an amazing service, an amazing coaching, and you work with great committed customers, people who are going to put in the work. Or you can choose to deal with 200 low quality customers because they paid a very low price and they're constantly going to ask for more. They're going to ask for refunds and they're going to ask for returns and this and this and that. Those are what we call nightmare customers. And after having spoken to hundreds of people by now, what I've really noticed is that people who don't pay attention. Now, if you'd like to discover how I make upwards of 1K per day with my own consulting business, I've made a free video in which I'm going to share with you everything I do, that way you can just copy me step by step. And I'm also going to reveal the 3-step process you need to use if you want to be able to go from 0 to 5K per month in 90 days or even less. The link will be in the description below. Or you can also directly apply to book a call with me or my team, and we'll see if you qualify for getting our help to start your business. Now, a key lesson I want to share with you is that you always want to keep things simple. I had plenty of people who came to me and they told me they were trying to sell to real estate agents and solar companies and dentists and plumbers, and it's like, okay, great, you might think that just because you have more niches you're going to get more clients, but it's actually the opposite. Because think about this, dentists and real estate agents and plumbers, yeah, maybe they want to grow their business, make more money, but they have very different problems. So you need to focus on solving one type of problem for one type of customer with one offer and one product. That's it. Don't try to add more complexity. In fact, back in 2022, when I was doing my done for you lead generation service for entrepreneurs, pretty much all the time, the ones that came to me, the agency owners, coaches and consultants who were working with multiple niches, they were always the ones making the least amount of money, because you can try to speak to everyone, but then in the end, you will end up speaking to no one really. Whereas, if you picked one specific type of customer and you spoke to them directly, you'd be able to not only get better results for them, but also in your marketing, you'd be a lot more convincing. Because since you know a lot more about this market and you focus on them exclusively, people will think, oh wow, this is my guy or this is my girl. He or she has exactly what I need. And so all you need to scale to 10K per month, even 100K per month really, is just one problem to solve for one type of customer, one offer, one product. That's it. You don't need 10,000 different upsells and downsells and $20 ebooks and school communities. None of that matters. Now, a huge mistake I see a lot of people making is that they worry about their offer, but in reality, their problem is not their offer. They have a great offer. Sometimes I have people who come to me and they're afraid of not being able to differentiate themselves from the competition. Like for instance, you could want to offer a service or coaching in the fitness industry, and it's a huge industry. It's worth billions or even trillions of dollars, and it keeps growing year after year. And spoiler alert, it's not about to stop. And so you shouldn't be afraid of competition. Competition is a sign that people want what you have to offer. In fact, the worst mistake you can make is to try to be the first in a new market, because there's no proof of concept yet. And more often than not, if there's no one selling what you want to sell in your market, it's most likely because people tried before and it didn't work, because people don't care. And so a lot of the time, your offer is good, but the reason why you struggle to sell it is because you're not getting enough visibility. Not enough people know about what you have to offer. And that's why, regardless of what you sell, it is crucial that you put yourself in front of as many potential customers as possible. There's paid methods to do that, like going to paid advertising, but there's also free organic methods to do that. So to give you an example, you could directly reach out to potential customers or make free valuable content to attract your ideal customers. And then you want to give people some free value and invite people to book a call with you. And on that call, your only goal should be to diagnose this person. So what do I mean exactly? Well, think of yourself as if you were a doctor. You don't know the person who's coming on the call with you, and you don't want to sell them something if it won't actually help them. First, you want to understand their situation and make sure you can actually help them. And only if you can, then you will make them an offer to work with you. And so the more people you speak with, the more conversations you have with people, the more money you're going to make and the more people you're going to help. And that's why I love this business model, because we are in the business of helping people, we're changing lives literally, and we get paid a lot of money for doing so. And that's why when you're doing dropshipping, you struggle to sell your $50 crappy overpriced AliExpress product because you're not giving much value to people. You're not solving a painful, a deep problem. The more painful the problem that you can solve for people, the more money you're going to make, because it's extremely valuable. The next thing I would like to share with you is that if you genuinely want to make 5K per month, 10K per month, or even more, you need to learn to embrace resistance. On this channel, I'm giving you the raw, honest truth so you can go ahead and build your business to 5K, 10K per month, and even more. But in order for this to be possible, you have to be willing to do things you're not used to doing. We've never had such crazy opportunities to make money from the comfort of our home, literally, but at the same time, you can't expect to just never do any of the things you feel uncomfortable doing and end up becoming a multi-millionaire out of thin air. That'd be too easy. So some of the things I'm sharing with you, they might be challenging you. Maybe you don't want to take sales meetings. Maybe you're afraid of reaching out to potential customers. And for me, a few years ago, that used to be the case. But I was holding myself back with my own limiting beliefs, doubts and fears, and guess what it ended up doing for me? Only ended up wasting 7 months of my life. And then when I finally had the balls to go out there and to make it happen, to put in the work relentlessly, regardless of how I felt, then I started to make a lot of money. And when I got my first customer, just a few days later, I got another, and then I got another, and then another. And something I've really learned throughout my journey is that you shouldn't be afraid to spend money, even if you don't have much of it. Now, I know it's a lot easier said than done. A few years ago, I only had $400 in my bank account, and I was afraid to spend it, even though I was just keeping this cash in my bank account and I wasn't doing anything with it. And it's not like it was going to multiply itself on its own. So I could have used it to find opportunities to make more money, and I would have been able to find success so much faster. But at the time, I was too anxious. I was afraid to take risks. But business owners, entrepreneurs are all risk takers. So when you do spend money, do so with a freeing attitude. Do it with the mindset that more is going to come back to you, because money is meant to flow and to circulate. I know it can sound a bit woo-woo, but it's actually worked for plenty of people. To give you an example, Jim Carrey nowadays is a famous actor. But before he actually became a world-renowned actor, before he became successful at it, it was only a vision in his mind. So he wrote himself a $10 million check, and he kept thinking, one day I'm gonna make that $10 million. And he kept visualizing himself, like having producers noticing him and signing big roles. And then that ended up coming true. He became this famous actor, and he made way more than $10 million. In fact, his estimated net worth at the moment I'm recording this video is about $180 million. But all of it started because he had the belief he could make it happen. To give you another example, a more personal example, the other week in fact, I spent more than $3,000 on my business. And every single time when I spend money, I do it with the attitude that more is going to come back to me. And it's always been true. Now look, it's time for you to make a choice. You can keep watching YouTube videos, but that won't build you the business that you want. Or if you are part of that minority of ambitious individuals who's actually committed to building your business so you can become financially free, I invite you to check out the free training in the description, because I'm going to share with you everything I did to make upwards of $1,000 per day, and I'm also going to reveal the only 3 activities you need to do to scale to 5K per month in 90 days or less. Or you can directly apply to book a call with me or my team, and we'll see if you qualify for getting our help. That being said, if you found this video helpful, share it with a friend, and together, let's blow up this YouTube channel and empower more ambitious individuals to become financially free. And when we get to 100,000 subs, to thank you all, I will be giving away $10,000.